Hey listeners, welcome back to another tidbit of the Property Pod. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's little interview with Ben Morse. I was pretty excited that Pat spoke with someone that's worked with Marvel. Everybody that knows me knows that that's something I'm really, really into, and it was interesting to hear him kind of rub salt into the wound on that one. It sounds like Pat's having a blast over there, and it's good that he's actually doing a bit of work. He's in Sin City, and he's actually working hard for us. And look, again, the audio quality on this interview is a little bit lower than we'd expect, and I've had a quick chat with him about hoping to boost it up in the future, but hey, look, next year he's just going to have to take me along with him, or if he wants to do any more recording out in the field, he's going to have to take a pro. So cheers for Pat getting all the interviews. This one's really interesting, especially he talks about something called an iBuyer, which I had no idea about, and be really, really interesting to do an episode on in the future. So cheers, Pat, for getting some of the in-depth knowledge that you're getting, mate. And don't forget about us over here in Australia. We'll try and do the hookup tomorrow, I think it will be, for the regular listeners and the regular show. And don't have too many beers before that. All right, guys, this one is another tidbit, and it's from an Aussie. Pat has got Kylie Davis of HomePrezzo, and he's had a quick chat with her just after she's come off stage. And again, audio a little bit off, and hopefully it doesn't put off the really good content that Pat has garnered for us. So cheers, Patty.
Hi everyone, Patrick Berry of 414 Real Estate, just wrapping up day 2 at the Inman Connect conference in Las Vegas. I'm really excited. Kylie's just come off stage at the event and she's given a couple of minutes to have a chat to us. Welcome, Kylie.
Hey Patrick, how you going?
Well, I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited that you've found the time to have a quick chat to us.
I'm still a bit shaky after being on stage.
It was really cool seeing an Aussie representative there, so that was fantastic.
Thank you.
And I thought you spoke really well, if that helps.
Thank you. Oh, thanks.
So obviously, Kylie, we wanted to get you on board, but I think probably for our listeners at home, it'd be good just to get a quick background as to who you are, how you ended up in this space, and why you're here talking, I guess.
Yeah, sure. So my background is I have had 25 years in media and then 5 years in data on top of data. Sorry, now I'm talking to an Aussie audience. So if you don't say data, they don't understand you. Like the Americans, just their faces blank. Like, what is she saying? And because we work in data, we have to kind of switch our brains over.
It does make me laugh. I had the same issue with tomato sauce and ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sauce and chip.
No, why would you do that? Why would you do sauce that's tomatoes? That makes no sense. No, and you have these little moments when you're talking to Americans and just their faces stop because they don't understand that you can see it. So 5 years in data at CoreLogic, and now I am working with HomePrezzo, which is a startup in the prop tech space, and we automate content marketing and by taking your data and turning it into content.
Yeah, I've actually I've got an account myself with you guys.
Oh, good.
Times. I'll be honest, I haven't used it hugely, but after today I'm probably going to explore.
Give it another go. Yeah, we've made some improvements. So yeah.
Definitely keen to look back into that and see if we can definitely advance what we're doing in that space.
Yep.
But what I thought I'd love to get you to have a quick chat about and give me your opinion on is you've been here at Inman now a couple of times.
So I first came over when I was a journalist at News Corp, and it was actually Mark Scott from Ray White who invited me over with the Ray White crew, and that was the first time I met Nathan. So that was that would have been about 5, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah. So 6.
I'm a newbie to Inman. This is my first time.
Yeah. I think I'm up to number 6. Yeah.
So you would have seen a lot of changes between the American real estate marketplace and the Australian marketplace.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you think is coming to Australia? How do you think real estate potentially will change in Australia moving forward?
So what this is a great conference because it basically gives you, it's a bellwether for the technology that's coming through, and it gives you an insight into the trends that are going to be affecting the Australian market as well, because there are some things that the Americans do much better than the Australians, and there's a couple of things that the Australian market is easier or we do better. But it's great to see the technology coming through, and it kind of gives you a feeling as to how much time you've got to adopt and the forces that are going to start to really change things. And I think what we're seeing over the last couple of years is just this increase in the importance of relationships, and that how technology is really driving customer experiences, whether that is the property direct to the customer or whether that is technology that really makes it easier for agents to have better relationships and to give their customers better experiences.
Yeah, I think one thing I really picked up on is one of the speakers earlier today was make the customer the centre of the conversation and then build the tech around.
Absolutely, yeah, yep.
Customers unfortunately expect agents to work 24/7 these days. days.
They do.
And I can understand that. Real estate's a stressful thing, and just sitting in bed in the middle of
But you can have a bot for that. Like,
that's what I think is exciting to see. So you see that as potential for the future, that bots will fill the void for agents until they're able to get back on deck the next morning and help that client.
Absolutely, and in fact, we're seeing that already. So, AIRE, AIRE with Rita, they've got lots of case studies or examples where the AI is sitting and taking in all of the leads that come in. And the fantastic thing about AI and bots is that they work 24/7. They don't care if someone has been drinking and decided to try and look online and buy a property at sort of 4:00 in the morning. They're completely agnostic. They'll just keep replying and sending the same information. They're just there to help. And if you can type the question in intelligible enough English, they'll get you a response. They're not offended. They don't take holidays. They just kind of keep doing what they've been programmed to do, and then they suck all of that information in. So what happens is that when the agent comes in the next morning, they've got a good list of like leads, people who are genuine leads, and they're ranked in order of who's most likely to actually list. And in fact, the person who is experiencing the bot has basically had a good experience as well, because most of their basic questions have already been answered, and so they're happy. They've got the information they wanted at the time that they were asking it. Everyone's kind of got what they needed until they're ready to take the relationship to the next level.
Interesting that you brought up Rita. We actually had Sarah on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, great. They do great stuff.
Back to Sarah, because I know she's one of our weekly listeners.
Yeah, hey Sarah.
Having the bot fill that void, I think, is a huge advantage, and it's something that I think consumers need to understand. It's not something to be scared of, or not.
I think agents are more scared of it than humans are, than customers or property buyers or sellers are.
I think a lot of consumers probably don't realise they're using it already. A lot of these websites where you're buying clothes and things, a lot of that is bots on those chat systems.
Yeah, I can't remember the data, the figures, but there is research out there that I'm pretty sure Google did that shows that when someone is bot enabled, so when they're getting information in real time, whether it's from a chat bot about what they're researching online, their likelihood of purchase or their likelihood of taking the next step goes up fivefold. So it's about getting the right information at the right time that solves your problem. It's not about whether that was a human being who gave you that information or whether it was an automated information. Yeah, you just want the info that you want.
I totally understand that. Apart from AI and obviously bots and that aspect, is there any other emerging things that you see?
So we're seeing, the other big trend that's coming through is the iBuyer trend, and it's a bit of a misnomer of a name, because what it is, it's almost like an iSeller. So an iBuyer is a process where instead of going to an agent and having the agent sell the property for you and taking a commission, you get like an online valuation done, and pretty much they turn up with a cash offer, and you can transact in sort of 24 to 72 hours, something like that. But basically, instead of having to get the property ready and all of that sort of stuff, do all that hard work, you can pretty much just move out. So
it's funny you say that. I didn't know anything about this iBuyer craze until I got here.
It's been around for a couple of years now. Yeah.
Started advertising to me the moment I arrived. And they were pitching it to me, basically.
Yeah. Now, there's pros and cons to it, and that's what we heard today. What it is that it's a valuation of the property. It's not a sale price of the property. So, and most of those valuations are done using the algorithms, and I'm ex-CoreLogic, so there's pros and cons to those.
When it comes to data.
Yeah, well, they are, but a valuation is never going to. You might have a property that's for sale for $500,000, or you would list it for $500,000, but the valuation is probably going to come in around $420,000, something like that. So when you go with the benefit of going with an iBuyer is that if you have to get out really fast for whatever reason, if it transacts quickly, then you've got cash in hand and you don't have the expenses of an agent and all of that sort of stuff. In Australia, because our commissions are a lot lower here in the US, that kind of argument is not so strong, but it means you can get out really quickly. You've got cash in your pocket. But the downside is that you might be taking sort of a 20% cut in the price. And how do you feel about that? Yeah, is doing a bit of paint work and maybe screwing on the doorknob that's been missing for 5 years, really such a big deal that you would take that kind of hit.
That's it. I think with any technology, and I've heard it a couple of times today, it's just about using the right tech at the right time.
Yeah, and it's about choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not one idea is here to take over.
No, there's no magic bullets, which is kind of annoying in some ways, but also good.
Yeah, so I think that was my key takeaway from today and from all the great speakers that we've had across the 2 auditoriums. Obviously excited to see what the rest of the week holds, but for today I really appreciate your time, Kylie. It's been great having a quick chat to you on the mics.
Thanks so much, Patrick.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Great, thank you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. And thanks
Thank-
guys for listening.
Thanks.